Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Monday, August the 29th, 2016. All right, you're looking at this Bitcoin here. As you can see, quiet so far. Not a lot to really see here, except when you scale it down a little bit, you have something interesting. All right. We finally broke that support that I've been telling you about. Now we switch from a positive pulse wave to a negative pulse wave situation. So the question is, are we going to break down back down to the 550 and below, or is the market going to break out from its current level here around the 584 level and get up to 600? Well, as you can see, we're flirting with the higher end of the resistance here, so this is getting very interesting. So far, it's just as I predicted, that the Bitcoin, which is secretly the new US dollar, if you will, or the global currency per se, is catching bids with the US dollar. So as the US dollar is finding liquidity pumped into it via the Fed propping up the dollar, Bitcoin is moving in tandem with that dollar, lockstep with the dollar every day, every week, just as I have been showing you. All right, switching our focus now to the US dollar. As you can see, it is still being propped up, and the momentum's starting to come off a little bit. 24.70 is where we ended up, and we're still below the Kumo cloud, still below the long-term trend line resistance. So I think that it's going to probably punch through that. Like I said, the Fed's back is against the wall. They have to keep pumping liquidity into this market. The only caveat will be how badly they fail at this last ditch effort. All right, are we going to break out of this consolidation? Or are we going to break down? It's looking like it wants to break out, but we'll see. All right, looking at gold so far this week, as you can see, the market finished slightly up so far, which is good. 126.30. Right now, the support is at 124.20, and we have long-term support at 119.03. Momentum is pointing up, but it's still in that oversold situation, so haven't necessarily decided where the support's going to be just yet. I still believe it's going to bounce from this trend line here and head back up again, but we don't know how much deeper in the correction this could go. And as you have followed these videos for some while, you know that we always have contingency plans for trading, even if we are wrong in our analysis or in the direction of the market. The pulse waves are designed to put you on the right side of the trade regardless, so that even if you're wrong initially, the market will take you with it and the system self-corrects. So those of you who have followed the pulse waves for some time now, you know how they work, and that's why we're able to capture gains even if we are wrong on the initial direction. That's the power of the pulse wave system, because it doesn't care about your analysis. We trade off of pure price, and the price is what gets us in and out of the market. We never have to chase it. We never have to worry about missing any opportunities, and we don't have to worry about getting our faces ripped off if we're wrong, because the system self-corrects, and at worst case you break even, and even with a little profit, best case you capture the entire daily and weekly bars. That's what we do. We don't day trade. We capture daily and weekly bars. We capture all of this. We capture all of this. we capture all of this and all of this. That's what we do. All right, moving on. All right, looking at your GDX, looking at your miners, as you can see last week we did finish off right on the support line, and we started off here on the support line. Once again, don't know if momentum will pick up, and that's going to be all contingent on what the futures do. But as you can see, the miners are in a corrective mode. It's in a negative pulse wave. If you're still holding your short, you make sure that you tighten up your stops at the 2-bar Charlie. All right, you want to use the buy stop 2-bar Charlie to tighten up on your stops to lock in any profits that you've received so far. And right now, overhead resistance is at 31.69. All right, looking at the GDXJ, has a little bit more buying in that one, which is great. So it's correcting from last week. We just need to see more of a pop. It's still in the oversold zone. So overhead resistance is at 52.32. Be mindful of your crash alerts. I know we hate to see those when we are holding a long position, but that's what they're there for, to alert you to tighten up on your stops if you haven't already taken profit. And if you are short, likewise, you want to do the same thing. Remember, we take what we can, we give nothing back. So remember that. All right, looking at silver now, as you can see, it is also, rallying back from last week. I think we're in the process now of filling this gap. So we should take out last week's high of 1812. We finished off at 1790. So I do believe that we're going to get somewhere up in the gap. We could even break out above it. A breakout above this blue trend line right here, this trend line resistance, is at 1824. That would put it into the corrective downside. And then this would be off to the races to 19 and then up above 20. And you see the momentum pointing up. All right, looking at your silver miners, same situation. It's in the nice corrective phase. It's trying to pop out of this oversold situation, but technically still we're in a negative pulse wave. We can't ignore that. Upside resistance is at 54.14. Trend line support right here is at 43.31. So anything can happen. Be prepared. That's what the pulse waves are for, to get you in and out of trades correctly and on the right side of the market. All right. Looking at the junior silver miners here, same situation. Catching a bid here early. A good start to the week. Still have a lot of ways to go here. Immediate resistance is at 1736 and then at 1970. Support is at 1529. Once again, we're still in the oversold situation. Haven't overcome that yet. Overall negative pulse wave, so we could see increased momentum to the downside, but it will probably more than likely be short-lived. So we'll have to wait and see. Anything can happen. Any market, I don't care what it is, can crash and burn at any moment, or it can break out and explode at any moment. That's why you have to be prepared. That's why we have the pulse wave price triggers, to get us in and out of the market at the appropriate price and time. All right, looking at your JDST, you can't see it on the chart, so I will just spell it out to you. Right now we have our overhead resistance at 34.25, and right now this market, as you can see, it's hard to see on this chart, but we're in the overbought situation, and 27.87 is where we finished out, and we have support. Weekly support is at 26.75 now. All right, and so that's where we are right now on this one. There will be an update alert on the JDST and also on the JNUG, the Nugget, and the Dust. So just look out for your update on that one with the appropriate pulse waves on that, because as you know, a lot of these have experienced splits, so we have to adjust for these stock splits. All right, JNUG now, overhead resistance is at 32.99, Your first line of support is at 1709 respectively. We finished out at 2006, and the momentum is still in the oversold, trying to pop back up again. But anything goes, so just keep your eyes and ears open and have those price waves entered into the market ahead of the move so that you won't miss it. All right, looking at Nugget, overhead resistance is at 35.49. We're right here, literally on the trend line. The trend line is at 21.46 is where that support is, and we finished at 21.92 respectively. In the oversold situation right now, haven't overcome that yet. Negative pulse wave right now, so eyes and ears open on that. If you are short the Nugget, remember where your two-bar chart, your buy stop two-bar Charlies are located. All right, looking at dust, I'm gonna be posting an alert in the trading room for this one too, and we'll have that ahead of the open this morning. As you can see, right now the overhead resistance has not. That you can see the charting software hasn't recalculated for the stock split, so it's still showing the 361.29. All right, that's going to have to be adjusted. Also, on the market, we closed at 35.09, and our support right now is at 31.68. All right, and then weekly support is at 23.09, so that's a long way to go to the downside. Market is overbought, so we have to watch and see how this responds. It takes a few days when you have these stock splits. It could take up to a week just for everything to adjust out properly. So you may not see a lot of movement just because of the split. People need to readjust their positions and their cash flows and see what they're going to do. And at the same time, they're watching the futures to see what's happening, and the futures have been quiet. So anyhow, one more thing I'm going to show you. All right, on the futures, coming off of last week, 21.91.50 was the high, and right now this market is supported at 20.88 All right, 20.88 is strong support. First support's going to be at 21.04 Trend line support, the first one is at 21.19 and then 20.63 So those are your supports on the emini S&P 500. One thing to note too is that it's resting on the intraday support at 21.68 and that's where the market is flirting with right now. If that's taken out, then it probably will fall to the 21.19 Just a heads up on that. It could correct down to this trend line if this blue support, intraday support, is taken out. So just keep that in the back of your mind on what could actually happen. Remember, your blue line on the charts is your intraday support. That's what that represents. All right. Picture it as a how can I say this? Picture it as a VWAP or on balance volume type of an indicator. All right. Even though it's not, it's a little bit different. Has more things added into it, but for all intents purposes for this video, I want you to picture it as such. All right. Now, for those of you who have your pulse waves with the S&P on it, you will note that, just like I've said before, the chart setup that I have for the videos is so that you can visualize the system outputs. Okay, but this helps you to see the things that I say. When you get your weekly pulse waves, you'll notice that the price points and everything is totally different than what you see on the setup here. Even when I do the chart outputs from the system, it's totally different. You may, like, the system may tell you that the S&P is literally in the Kumo cloud, but when you see it on the charts for the videos, you see the Kumo cloud's way down here somewhere. That's because the system outputs are totally different and factor in a lot of proprietary stuff. Like just like I said before, I do not use technical indicators that are that commonly come with software packages and things like this and with different brokerages. I have my own indicators that's been 20 years in development. The pulse waves, just so you know, has been 20 years in the making. All right. And those of you who've been with me for some time, you'll notice that my videos on YouTube date back to 2010. All right, so I've been showing you bits and pieces of it since 2010. So that's really the nuts and bolts. And also, just so you know, I don't take down any of my analysis videos. All my videos that I've ever done and posted on YouTube are still here. They have not been taken down. I don't care win, lose, draw, hit or miss. All of my analysis videos are on this channel. In addition to that, all of my even my intraday market alerts, all of that stuff is available on my blog. I have not taken down anything from the website. It is still there. Win, lose, or draw. Even the stuff that I did. Someone had asked me, where's the link to what you call the top and the gold and silver markets, blah, blah, blah. You can see those videos. Go to the link, the playlist that I have. I think it's called Prophetic Calls or something like that. You'll find that there. Also, if you want to see when I called it live on the air on the Wide Awake News radio show with the late, great Charlie McGrath, that's where you'll find that. There's a lot of power-packed information. A lot of it's prophetic from those broadcasts from several years ago. You will see that. Those of you who have not already listened to the Wide Awake radio shows, go ahead and click that link, the W.A.N link in the playlist, and you will see that that is amazing. A lot of things that are in there. A lot of times I didn't have a chance to do a YouTube video for stuff, but I would call it out on Charlie's show. So check that out when you get a chance. And there's a lot of neat things here. Just go through some of the playlists that I have. I've taken time to put together a lot of interesting things, and Lord willing, I'll have more things to come. Also, be on the lookout for those in the Black Ops chat room. You know that I'm going to be uploading a lot more tutorial videos on the power of the pulse waves. Those of you who are on the YouTube channel, feel free. You can watch those videos, but you probably won't understand a thing that you're watching unless you subscribe and become a member to the Black Ops Trading Room. That's what those are for. So feel free to watch them if you will, but you probably won't be able to follow along, understand anything that's in it, because you don't have the pulse wave system. So if you want that, come on over to the Black Ops Trading Room and go ahead and get your subscription, and you'll be good to go. And one more thing too, the rates on the subscriptions will be increasing after September the 1st. Also, I have to alert you all too that at some point the trading room will be closed. At some point it will be closed. We're getting kind of full now, so we're getting close to that point. So if you haven't already made up your mind, you may want to do so. If you're gonna go ahead and take us up on the 15-day trial offer, come on and do that. Because like I said, things are going to change drastically after September the 1st. Reason being is because there's some things that I'm going to be rolling out. I can't say everything that's going on the YouTube video because I don't want 100,000 people coming at me, because that's not going to happen. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want 100,000 people, 10,000 people, even 1,000 people. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to build something that's different. You won't find what I'm doing anywhere on the internet, anywhere else on the planet. There is no other brokerage, trading firm, private equity, fund manager. There's no one doing what I'm doing right now. You won't find these pulse waves anywhere because it's been 20 years in the making, and that's all I can tell you right now. So with that said, Everyone be encouraged, and thank you also for all my new subscribers. Be encouraged. There's a lot of information I have on this YouTube channel, all meant for your edification. Even those that hate my guts, that leave ridiculous comments on my videos, you'll note I don't delete comments. I'll leave them up there as long as they're not, disrespectful, and offensive, like racial stuff, just ignorant stuff. Then I don't have a problem with that. But if you don't agree with something I said, or you want to take issue and debate or whatever, that's fine. That's the marketplace of ideas. You don't have to be in jeopardy or think I'm going to delete you, because I won't. But anyway, this video is long enough. Just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and just want to tell everyone to be encouraged. And please, like I said before, you guys watch who you listen to and who you follow. Most of the guys, out here, even some of the big name people, I won't out nobody. They're not traders. They never worked on Wall Street in a trading capacity ever. They're just journalists, and they're really good journalists. I even follow and subscribe to some of them. They're great journalists, but they're not traders. I mean, you can go ahead and take their signals and subscribe to their services if you want to, but don't say I didn't tell you so when you lose all your money. Alright, a lot of these guys are wonderful marketers. They have bells and whistles. They're very well spoken. They have advanced degrees, and they name drop. Good for them. Good for them. I can name drop too. I can say a lot of things, but you won't hear me do it because it's not necessary. Who cares? At the end of the day, the only thing that makes you great is the fact that you make others great around you. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Putting money in other people's pockets. Helping other people to make it during this global situation that we find ourselves in. Alright, so with that said, everyone have a blessed day. Be encouraged.